There's a good reason why we sit still with our eyes closed as we try to get the mind still. We're trying to teach the mind a lesson from the body. Not too much is coming in, and particularly nothing is coming in through your eyes. And there's a lot less to distract you. And you can tell yourself that any thought that comes up that's not related to the breath, you're not going to think that thought at all. The rules are clear, and then it's simply a matter of living by them. And the fact is that eventually the mind can settle down. It's like having a refrigerator that you keep the door closed to. If you open it up and close it, open it up and close it, the refrigerator has to do a lot of extra work. And things don't get really cold. Or if on a day like this you don't want to think about being cold, think about an oven. Again, if you open the door to the oven again and again and again, what you have inside is not going to get baked. So try to keep things closed. Make the rules for the hour very clear. If you have something important you want to think about, save it for the last 5 or 10 minutes. But in the meantime, put it aside and just be right with the breath. The problem comes when we get up from the meditation. The rules change. And all too often we feel that because it's not really meditation time, it's kind of quasi-meditation time, we don't have to be as strict with ourselves. But again, think about the refrigerator. If you're going to keep things cold in the refrigerator when the door is open, you've got to generate a lot of cold. Which means that you have to be extra careful as you get up and try to maintain the meditation. The image the Buddha gives in the canon is of a man walking between a crowd of people on the one side and a beauty queen on the other side. The beauty queen is singing and dancing. The crowd's excited about her singing and dancing. The man is walking between the two. He's got a bowl of oil on his head filled to the brim. And behind him is a man with a sword raised. And if the first man spills any drop of oil at all, the man with a sword is going to cut off his head, which means that the man has to be extra attentive to that bowl of oil. In the same way, as you get up from meditation, you've got to be very attentive to the center in the body where you've focused, where you find a sense of comfort. And if it's one of the spots that Ajahn Lee talks about, it's an area where the breath energy there connects with the breath energy throughout the body. So if you keep watch over that one spot, you pretty much got the breath energy problem that's in the body covered, at least in a very general way. And because those spots are sensitive, if you really pay attention there, you're going to be able to detect when something's come up in the mind, when it's not paying full attention, when there's at least a little bit of tension in there. If you can detect it, you let it go. Let it go. That way, staying in the present moment, even though it involves extra energy, rewards you, because there'll be a sense of ease and well-being that come with that. So it's not just telling yourself, well, just be in the present. Be in the present in a way that generates a sense of well-being, to compensate for the fact that you've got your eyes open and you're walking around. In other words, you can't take it for granted that once you've attained a state of concentration with your eyes closed, you can get up and it will maintain itself as you go through the day. And John Fung had a student, a lay woman who had very strong powers of concentration. But she was always complaining that when she left meditation, her anger was just as bad as it was before. And he just said, the concentration on its own is not going to be able to do it. You can't expect that the fact that you've sat and meditated for an hour to cover you for the rest of the day. On the one hand, you've got to learn to maintain a sense of center, and two, it's going to involve some discernment. Because as you're changing the rules, one of the new rules is that certain things have to be thought about as you get up and move around. particularly if you have a specific job to do. The things you've got to think about. And as you open the door to your skillful thoughts, other thoughts are going to sneak in. This is where your discernment is necessary. You've got to see what this flow of thoughts is that's coming in, and who's sneaking in and behind the shadow of a good thought. Because those are the thoughts that are going to derail you. So it requires extra discernment and extra concentration to maintain your center as you go through the day. So it's a somewhat different skill from sitting here and concentrating with your eyes closed. But they connect. And they do nourish each other. And there are rewards that come with staying centered as you go through the day. Your concentration may not be as solid, but the opportunity for discernment to arise becomes more and more available, because as you're moving around, you've got to keep one eye on your center and one eye on what's happening around you. One part of your mind thinking about staying with your center, another part of your mind having to think about whatever your issues are. And as you move between these things, if you're attentive, if you're alert, you'll see things that tend to slip through the cracks, things you didn't notice before. And John Sawat would often say that his best insights came while he was doing walking meditation. In fact, his students have been led to believe that he gained final awakening while he was walking from the sala here down to his hut. And it was in this watching the movements of the mind between its center and going outside, then returning to its center, then going outside again, catching something that he hadn't seen before. That was what the discernment would be. So even though the concentration isn't as solid, there are rewards. And of course, the simple fact that you've been trying to maintain a sense of center from one sitting to the next sitting makes it a lot easier to settle down the second time, because you've kept the mind on a short leash. It's right nearby. If it's been all over the place, as soon as you sit down, one problem may be, well, it's off someplace else. And even if it does come back, it's coming back with the habit of wandering around at the slightest provocation. Whereas you've been keeping an eye on it, your alertness has been working all the time. Your mindfulness has been working all the time. Your ardency has been working all the time. And so when you come to sit down, everything is right there. And the mind has some good habits that it's maintained throughout the day. So this is one of the reasons why we do walking meditation, because walking, getting the mind still, is a somewhat different skill from just sitting with the mind still. You've been learning how to chew gum, now you have to learn how to chew gum and walk at the same time. And then from there, chew gum and do the dishes at the same time, chew gum and do work around the monastery, work around the house, work around your job. The skill range keeps expanding. But it requires that you bring the same level of intensity to looking after the mind that you maintain while you're sitting here with your eyes closed. So it's not automatic that sitting and getting the mind still is going to carry into the rest of your life. You've got to carry it. But in carrying it, you learn a lot of important skills, necessary skills for understanding your mind, getting some control over it. And of course, there's the fact that if you're there, present, fully present to what's going on in your mind, then when unskillful things come up, you're prepared. You can detect them more quickly than you could otherwise, because it's not the case that your defilements are going to crop up only while you're sitting here meditating. They can come any time of the day. So you have to be on the alert any time of the day. So once you've mastered the skill of getting the mind still while you're sitting, then try to expand that skill. If you find that you've lost it as you've gone around the day, as I said this afternoon, just stop what you're doing. Get yourself centered again, and be on the lookout as you continue with your jobs or your duties or whatever you're involved in, for the next time that it's going to leave. Because you want to detect that. Why does it leave? You learn a lot about the mind's defilements this way. What things set it off? What can sneak in? Or what tries to sneak in behind the shadow of a legitimate thought? This is where a lot of insight arises.